Welcome back. We're now in the Islamic month of Rabi al-Awwal, a month in which the birth of the Prophet Muhammad is remembered. Who is the Prophet Muhammad, and what makes him a great man? Why does he have such a lasting influence on Muslims? With me to discuss this subject, Dr. Shabir Ali, President of the Islamic Information Center. Dr. Shabir Ali, welcome to Let the Quran Speak.
Pleasure to be on.
Now, why is the Prophet Muhammad such a revered figure even today?
Well, among Muslims, he is regarded as the prophet and messenger of God, and even the final messenger in a long series of messengers. Muslims regard his messages being universal, given for all people, and also timeless in that his message is thought to be for all people for all time until the day of judgment. So since no other prophet will come after him to deliver God's message again. So naturally for Muslims, he is considered to be a very important figure in world history. Among non-Muslims, he is generally regarded as a prophet like the prophets of Israel. I should clarify that means that from a non-Muslim, from a historical academic point of view, he is classed with the Hebrew prophets. So from that detached perspective in which people do not consider themselves whether or not God really exists and whether or not he really speaks to prophets and commissions prophets, the Hebrew prophets and the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, are seen to be on par.
So is he seen as a good prophet and a good example? How is he viewed amongst them?
What the historians look at is they look at certain criteria that qualifies people to be in certain categories. So when they think of what is a prophet, what does he do, what is his function in society, they see that a prophet usually is very concerned with morality, very concerned with the future of his people, and that deep concern gives rise to some prophetic pronouncements about the future. Sometimes they distinguish between a prophet who is an apocalyptic prophet and one who is not. The apocalyptic prophet speaks about the coming doomsday, the end of the world, and calls on people to prepare for that eventuality. So in that case, they would classify the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as one such prophet as well, speaking about the life hereafter and the things to come. All of this is reflected in the Quran itself, the message which the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is thought to have delivered. So in short, Muslims revere him as a prophet. Non-Muslim historians, academics
also
of
consider
the
him a
study of
prophet.
religion would also consider him a prophet, but not in the same way. In other words, when Muslims speak about him as a prophet, they say he was a true prophet of God. God directed him and told him what to say. Whereas non-Muslim historians will say, well, prophets are human beings who are concerned about their people and they deliver messages to their people, either to get people inclined towards a greater and higher level of morality, or to warn them about things to come, the eschaton, last things, the end of the world, and so on.
So why does the Prophet Muhammad deserve our admiration then?
Well, when one looks at his teachings, one sees that he lived in an environment in which there were many moral faults. It is reported in some of the early works that people at the time went so far as to bury their babies alive, female children, because they preferred males. In that situation, which is so hard for us to imagine now, this man arose preaching a high morality. He spoke about the rights of women, about the rights of girls, about the rights of children in general, about the rights of the poor and downtrodden in society, those who are for one reason or another marginalized in society. The high ideals that he preached, in fact, are so widely recognized that William Montgomery Watt, a Christian, writing a biography of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, based on some of the earliest sources, but including Watt's own analysis of these sources, has Watt saying that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is known on an occasion to have directed his people marching with him that they are to make sure they do not harm a dog that was found on the way. And what remarks that this was a remarkable action on the part of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for the, and I'm adding peace be upon him because that's how Muslims refer to the Prophet Muhammad. It was remarkable for the time and the place in which the Prophet lived. So
do you think there are other acts like that in terms of the Prophet introducing very unique and revolutionary sorts of ideas?
Yes, in the realm of religion, the Prophet Muhammad is known to have followed very closely the Abrahamic line of teaching. So we have the Hebrew prophets with Abraham and other prophets following him, whose messages are detailed in the pages of the Bible. One of the central teachings of these prophets is the call to monotheism, the belief that there is only one God. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is known to have made this his central call as well, that is reflected in what is referred to as the kalima of Islam, the creed of the Islamic faith, which says in Arabic, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God. This is so well recognized that the Prophet Muhammad is similar in his teachings, the historical outlook and the future projections, as was taught by the great Hebrew prophets, that many Christians recognize the Prophet Muhammad as a true prophet of God. The United Church is one of the largest denominations in Canada, and they produced a document entitled That Ye May Know Each Other. The title of the document itself actually was taken from
the Quran.
Yes, exactly, from the 49th chapter of the Quran, the 11th verse, which says that God created you into nations and tribes so that you may know each other. Well, here is the United Church's attempt to understand Islam and, of course, to help Muslims to understand Christianity as well. And in their attempt to understand Islam, what they have said, in fact, is that they should, and Christians should, recognize Muhammad as a true prophet of God. Of course, for them, the one stumbling block and the reason for for their hesitation, if any, would be that in Islam, Jesus is not revered as God. And that means that Jesus does not occupy in Islam that central position that he has in Christianity. And so that will be the one point of hesitation. But other than this, Christians can recognize that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught all of the great commandments, except the commandment to observe the Sabbath, because we observe Friday instead of Saturday. But to love God, to obey God, to have no other than God, to not make any graven images for God, to honor your father and your mother, do not bear false witness, commit murder, adultery, do not covet your neighbor's property, and so on. All of these are teachings in the Islamic faith as well.
All right, lots more we could say, but we have to end it there. Thank you for your time, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
We'll take a break. When we return, we will answer questions we receive from you, our viewers.